welcome back to another part of the video where we are going to discuss the invertebrate series, and in this video we are going to first start with the phylum Porifera. So, this video series will be discussing about the invertebrates and the first part is Porifera. So, what are Porifera? Now, let us begin. So, why do we call this phylum Porifera? Because you can see here this is an example of Porifera that their body bears pore. So, from pore, the word pore, the name is given Porifera. That is why this phylum is known as Porifera. And they usually live in the fresh water and few in the fresh water, and usually they live in the marine water. And you can see their body structure is cylindrical in shape or vase shape, and they are diploblastic. In the last video I have detailed discussed about what is diploblastic, and if you have not watched that video, do watch it. And instead of mesoderm, there is a layer that is known as the mesoglia is present instead of mesoderm. As I have already discussed, that diploblastic are those organisms which do not have the mesoderm layer. So, instead of mesoderm, there is mesoglia is present, and you can see here that is the pores are present in the body, that is known as ostia, and one common opening is present through the body, that is known as the oscula, and this is the body wall. And this organism special characteristic is that they bear water canal system. What is the role of water canal system we will be discussing in further part. And its endoskeleton, that is its outer skeleton, is divided into three types, that is calcareous, siliceous, sponging fiber. What are they? We will discuss later. And the sex are not separate, that means both the male and female sex are present on the same organism, and asexual reproduction is usually seen here, no sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction takes place by the budding process, and regeneration takes place. What do you mean by regeneration? That is, if you cut any part of the body, then they will again regain that part of the body. So, these are certain important characteristic feature regarding Porifera which are important in the exam point of view. Moving to the next set is classification of Porifera. Porifera are divided into three main classes, that is calcarea. Under this calcarea is example is the sponges or leucosolenia. And why are they named calcarea? Because their endoskeleton bears calcium carbonate. And second class is hexaactinida, which is example is Eupactella. You can see here this is the example of Eupactella. And third is Desmospongia, example is Cliona. This is the Cliona. So, these are the three classification or three classes of phylum Porifera. Then, basing upon the composition, they are of three types. Porifera are of three types, that is calcareous, that is they are made up of calcium carbonate as I have discussed, and this is majorly seen in the characteristic feature of the class, that is calcarea class. This calcarea class, why they are called calcarea? Because their endoskeleton bears calcium carbonate. Siliceous, that is their exoskeleton or their body is made up of that is silica, and it is seen in the characteristic feature of the class, that is hexaactinida. Then Desmospongia, that is made up of spongin fibers. This is seen in the class, that is Desmospongia. So, you must be wondering what is calcareous, siliceous, Desmospongia. Basically these are the, what are the spongin fibers? These are basically the endoskeletons which are present in the Porifera. Then one important thing is that there are two larvae present in the Porifera. One is known as amphiblastula, which is known as hollow larva and is seen in the cycon. This is the example of cycon. In this cycon we can see the larval form is amphiblastula. And Leucosolenia has parenchyma larva. This is the Leucosolenia has the parenchyma larva, which is known as the solid larva. Why it is called solid larva? Because the larva is solid in state and not hollow, that is not having any pore in it. So, these are the two larvae which is seen mainly in the Porifera, and this is very important, mostly asked in the exam, that is what are the larval forms of Porifera. Moving to certain important features which we can see in the phylum Porifera, that is, it consists of pinocyte. What is the function of pinocyte? That it helps in the phagocytosis, that is, if they want to eat certain food or water certain, the pinocyte structure is present in the ectoderm layer, so they help in the phagocytosis process. Then what the next structure is the porocyte, which helps in the controls the flow of water, that how much amount of water will flow into their body is mainly controlled by the porocyte. Next is the ambiocyte. Ambiocyte is mainly helps in the nutrition purpose. It helps in the nutrition as well as cell differentiation purpose. And what is the function of sclerocyte? It secretes the spicules. That is, you can see that the siliceous spicules, calcareous spicules, all the exoskeletons are secreted from the sclerocyte. And choanocyte is helps in the generate water current, that is water canal system. The choanocytes helps in the generation of water current as well as it helps in the filtering of the water, which is a main organ or main feature which is present in the water canal system. These are certain important features, or you can say these are certain important parts which are present in the phylum Porifera. Then I have told you in the beginning that one important characteristic feature of this phylum is the presence of water canal system. What is water canal system is all about? The water canal system is a part of their body which helps in the movement of water from into and outside the body, and its main function is provide nutrition to the body. It helps in the excretion as well as it helps in the respiration of the body. So, that is why a special system is present inside the body of Porifera, that is known as water canal system. And water canal system is basically divided into three parts, that is Ascon type, which is the simpler one, is seen in Leucosolenea. This diagram is the Ascon type of canal system, and from different types of canals will be present. From here the water will enter from dermal ostia, the water will enter and will reach the spongocyl and moves through the osculum. This is the water flow pathway of Ascon type. Moving to the next, which is more complex than that of the Ascon type, is the Sycon type, which is seen in the syconoid sponges or Scypha. Here you can see more folding will be taken place, and there will be different types of canal, that is, you can see radial canal, incurrent canal, through which the water flows and finally comes out through the osculum. And next type is the Leucon type, which is the most complex type of the water canal system found in the spongilla, and which have flagellated chamber inside it. You can see here in this diagram, that is the radial canal which is present here is more folded here and forms the flagellated chamber through which the water flows. And this is all about the water canal system, which is important feature of Porifera. Then there are certain examples which have the common name, which are common names are very famous and asked many times in exam. So these are certain Porifera name examples and their common name. That is, Euplectella is known as Venus flower basket. You can see here, this is the example of Euplectella, which is known as Venus flower basket. Then Hylonema is known as glass rope sponge. This is the example of Hylonema, which is known as glass rope sponge. Common name is mostly asked in exams. Then is known as Cliona, which is known as boring sponge. This is the example of Cliona, which is known as boring sponge. Chalena is known as dead man finger. This is the Chalena, which is known as dead man fingers because it looks like the finger shaped only. You can see here. And Spongilla and Euspongia is known as bath sponge, that is used for the bathing purpose, bath sponge, and Spongilla is freshwater sponge. This is the freshwater sponge. This is all about the phylum Porifera, and in this video I have discussed only the main points regarding the phylum Porifera, which are important regarding exam point of view. And if you have any doubt regarding this video, do comment, and if you have not watched the previous video, that is the introduction of the invertebrate, do watch it. and also I have made a video series regarding evolutionary biology as well as physiology. Do check it. And that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.